Hi, I'm Jaap van Etten, and with great pleasure, I will introduce you to the Crystalline Movement. The idea of the Crystalline Movement didn't come from me. It came actually from the guardians of Gaia. One day, they asked me a question. Do you want a joyful, happy, successful, loving, abundant life? Well, you can guess the answer I gave. I said, of course, yes. And he said, in order to do that, you need to do something. You need to understand that to make that possible, there are a number of requirements, a number of changes that have to be made. And we invite you to contribute to that process of making changes. He said there are a number of things that are required to support the process of change. In the first place, people need to stop being out of sync with the world in which they live, creating pollution, destruction, and disharmony. In the second place, people need to stop thinking that they are the center of everything. They place themselves in the center, and they need to place Mother Earth, Gaia, in the center. In the third place, they need to learn to look at their world in a different way, in a way in which not only they look at the physical, but they also will look at the subtle, invisible energies. The invisible energies, invisible beings, and invisible worlds. And that requires an entirely different way of thinking. They need to see the world as both physical and invisible, subtle. They also reminded me of the fact that Mother Earth is a crystalline being. And although many people love crystals and stones, crystal skulls, they tend to forget that Mother Earth herself is a crystalline being. And that her crystalline energies are supporting us and all living beings. That's why it's important that those crystalline energies stay into the most optimal state possible. Because without a proper foundation of these functional crystalline grids, a lot of systems are not functioning very well. The crystalline energies are held in a field. But not all of those crystalline energies are actively used. That what is used, you find in the grids that are on Earth. And there is a connection between those two, between the field of full potential and the grids, and that is what we call a vortex. You see that depicted in this image. The grid has 12 different frequency levels, but the most important are the first 5 levels. They are literally, you can say, the foundation for a proper functioning of all life on Earth. That includes ours. When those grids are off, or when they have disappeared, as it happens in different cities, then we are really in trouble. For us, it means we get ungrounded, our fears and worries increase because we don't feel safe, we will have less effective immune systems, and we get more illnesses, especially those what we call the modern illnesses. So when you research the first 5 grids and discover that they have disappeared in those places where we have settled, towns, cities, villages, then we realize there's something wrong. Because they've disappeared, we miss that foundation, and I just said how important that foundation really is. It is also very important for all other life. So it prevents literally the expression of the full potential. We are actually destroying by our activities that what is a healthy foundation for all life. Together with others, I have worked for more than 20 years understanding crystalline grids. And based on our findings, we have to make the statement that those first five grid levels are absolutely foundational and that we need to do everything to get them back. The good news is we can get them back. That's what the research has shown as well. And we can restore those systems so that we no longer have to be in what I call the different survival strategies. That is a new way of living, you can say. It will lead to literally a new world. Yes, the process of restoring grids is not a short-term process. But if you don't start, it will never happen, and we will never change. So it's very important to start the process. And working with the crystalline energies, the energies of crystals, stones, crystal skulls, contribute to the restoration of the crystalline grids. And there are many people who love working with crystals. So it's only a comparatively small step. And besides restoring the grids, working with crystalline energy is also doing a lot of positive things for you, as we will see if you decide to follow the course. You will see how many ways crystalline energies are supporting our personal development. So this work includes, in fact, all three aspects that we were mentioning in the very beginning, that were the guardians of Gaia we're talking about. And we are, realizing that we have a responsibility. We don't place ourselves in the center anymore, we take the earth as a center. And we are contributing by working with subtle energies, changing the subtle environment that we are living in. So to support this whole process, because you may understand this is a large process. There are so many cities and so many villages in the world, and they all are missing those grids. And we need a movement, and that is where the crystalline movement comes in. Crystalline movement has as a purpose to create a community of people that are willing to work on the restoration of the grids. And some of the other earth energies that are very related to it. It's not something that one person can do. This is something that's a worldwide problem. So basically, you can say we need to create a community as large and as widespread as is possible. But in order to work actively within the crystalline movement, you need a training. And that is what the online course is for, that we have developed. The online course is actually a part of the crystalline movement. So when you are interested in contributing and you want to sign up for it, you will get, as a part of the membership of Crystalline Movement, the course, weekly Zoom gatherings where there will be question and answers, meditations, new information, and you will be part of a growing community. As you will see when you go to the online information, our website, which you will see at the end of this video, but also in the text under this video, you can sign up for a small amount and get all these benefits, and you're part of a very important movement that is restoring something so essential for the earth that I cannot even begin to truly express the importance. The crystalline movement is a beautiful opportunity to use your stones and crystals in a very supportive way. for the greater good of all, for every living being on earth, but also specifically for yourself, because it also expands you, your potential. Who doesn't want to experience an improvement of the environment they live in, or the environment of their neighbors, family, children, and at the same time grow themselves? Isn't that a wonderful way to work? If it resonates with you, definitely click on the link and explore further what the crystalline movement entails. Thank you for listening.